Hey guys, it's Tracy and welcome to my channel. I'm going to be doing some testing of some materials to see if I can use it in place of rhinestone flock. I have been looking at some materials and was just curious if it will work. But in order to do that test, I need to create some simple rhinestone designs, which I'm going to do right here in Silhouette Studio. So I'm going to go over here to the Flexi Shapes and I'm going to select a star as well as back to the Flexi Shapes and I'm going to select a heart. So now once you have all your shapes, you want to go back up here and select the arrow because that deselects that Flexi Shape Select option. Because if you don't, it'll keep trying to draw the last shape that you drew. So now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to select the heart, to select the star. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, if you hit this slider, it'll give you some additional points. There's a little red dot there, if you slide that, it changes the shapes of your points. So that's good. So now what I want to do, I want to select both objects and I want to right click and select convert to path. So now here on the mat, you'll see two different size rectangles and they represent the size of the materials that I would be using. So I wanted them there as a reference so I know what size to make my shapes here. But before I do that, I want to select both of these. I'm going to hold my control key and then my down arrow because I just want to make a copy. And with those selected, I'm just going to move them over here to the mat. And let's get these sized up. Looks like that could be a little straighter. And I want to resize this one. And that's kind of close. Don't want that close. Kind of crooked to me. Alright. And I think that should be good enough. And now I'm going to go ahead and select these, control key again and down arrow so I can move a copy down here. And I'm going to go ahead and resize these. So with both of them selected, I'm going to go to the corner here and just resize it. And you always want to go to your corners and resize. Otherwise, if you do it from here, I'll show you real quickly. You'll see how you distort them and you don't want that. So I'm just going to go up here and do undo. Unless that's what you want. But so let's see if that fits in there. Yep, that's pretty good. So since I'm down here, let me just go ahead and start with this one. So with that selected, I'm going to go over here to the Rhinestone tool, Rhinestone panel, open that up, and it defaults to the 10SS. And also because I had been working on some other things, I had changed the spacing of the rhinestones. Didn't know if you guys knew that you could do that. But let me take this back to the default, which is, these zeros. So I'm going to go up here and that shows me what it looks like as an outline. But I don't want an outline. And then I'm going to go to linear fill. And that just puts them close together. But I don't really, let me zoom in. I don't really care for that because see how it doesn't really give me that nice curve that you're used to seeing with a heart. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to go to radial fill. And see, that looks nice. But I really don't want them that close together, not for what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go back and select that. And I'm going to show you guys here how that spacing works. So if you can use your slider or you can just use the up and down arrows. So let me see if I take that to 125. See? And it does leave a little space here, but I do like that. So you can always fill in this space too. And the way you would do that is like I would select this and then you would hit release rhinestones. And see, once you do that, see it has all those little boxes around it. What I would do is just like grab a few, and I'm going to hit my control key, and I'm going to do my up arrow key this time, just to move them up above there. So then they're loose, so what you can do, you can just manually start filling them in if you like. And then that's that. And then what you could also do is just grab one here, control key, arrow, down key, whatever direction you need to go. You can use whatever arrow key. Let's see, and I can put one there, and I can go here. Again, using my control key and the arrow key. I want to make sure you get it right. Okay. All right, so guys, that's just, I'm good with that for now. But I just want to show you that you can release the rhinestones and move them around. So what I'm going to do here, and once you do that, let's see, I don't think you can resize it then. So what I want to do now is just grab them all, right click, and I want to group them together. All right, so now I want to go to this one. Oh, you know what? I think it must have grabbed this one. So let me hit undo, because I don't want the star included. All right, so what I want to do, so I can tell now it's selected. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there is a box around the star. So when I went to go select this, all of this, I accidentally selected the star. So what you want to do is hold your shift key and then click on the star. See, and that deselected the star. Now you can right click and select group. So now I want to go to the star, and again, that's what outliner look like, and it's still on that spacing of 0.125. And that's also something to be aware of too. Just because you select a new item doesn't mean that it's going to default your spacing back to that default spacing of the zeros, because it doesn't. And that's okay, but I don't want that. I want something that's going to be more filled in. So let's see what linear fill looks like. That don't look too bad. And let's select it and see what the radial fill looks like. And I do like the radial fill, so I'm going to leave that. So let's go up here and do these real quick. Make that a little bigger if I want. Okay, so I know I wanted to probably do, let's just see. That don't look bad. Let's do, that was linear fill. Here's radial fill. Again, see guys, that gives you that curve. So I'm going to keep that. And that probably look like it could have another like rhinestone in the middle there. And these two are kind of close. So again, what I can do is select that, go down here, release rhinestone stones, come here, I can go right there, hold my control key and hit my down arrow key. See, and it gives me another copy. And then with that still selected, you can use your arrow key to move down, to move it where you want. Again, you can go here, just showing you another way to be able to add the rhinestones, the additional circles. So with that selected, hold your control key, your down arrow key. And again, with that still selected, you can hit your down arrow key to kind of move that where you want it. Or you can select it, you can move your left or right or up or down arrow key to get it where you need it. That looks kind of close to me. But guys, you get what I'm saying here. And this one seems a little close. That one seems a little close. This one, let me move that over some. So again, guys, that would be how you, let me add one here. That will be how you fill it in. And, move them around, do whatever you need to. All right. So now what I want, you know what? I'm going to move this one over just a little bit so I can grab all of this. I'm holding my left mouse button and selecting that. Hopefully I'm getting it all. And then I want to right click and select group. Yep. All right. So I want to go here, move this back over a little bit. I'm going to resize that because that's kind of a little too big. All right. So now I want to select linear fill and see where it kind of chopped those ends off. I don't want that. So that's why I selected the radial fill because it gives me the points. Let me zoom out. So guys, that is it. That's how quickly you can make a rhinestone shape using, you know, those flexi tools over there. So again, I just need this for testing purposes. So I didn't want anything too involved, too complicated. All right, guys. So if you have any questions or any comments, you know, leave me, you know, you can leave them for me and I will get back to you.